I think they're going to take it even further than being the best in South America in Season 8.
Oh, well, we're looking forward to that one. As mentioned, there's already potential for upset over in Europe, although I think that third map is concluding itself in favor of Imperial, so they're giving themselves a second chance. But Furia, our world champions, may not make it to finals. None of those teams matter right now, of course. The only thing that matters is MIBR and 4Magic as we kick off week number 6 now, our very first game of this week. We'll see if MIBR can indeed take that one step closer to confirming their spot at the Stockholm finals. Danny now taking a very aggressive position. Oh my god, up close and personal, double dinks, bombs lost. Oh, third one. How did I miss the third one? All right, Danny, calm down. And she'll go ahead and make it a fourth as well. Go on, give her the ace, give her the chance. Anna X not willing to give that up, realizing there's probably someone behind her. No, Younger! Oh, yeah, no. Look at Danny Bro, she's so upset. She's so mad. I can't believe she's done this. Oh,
that's
unlucky.
Amazing. That is a phenomenal start to the map and to this series for Danny. Before the season started, Fury and MIBR played up against each other in a LAN finals. MIBR ended up actually winning in that kind of like shock upset, and Danny was at the very top of the scoreboard for the whole series. She had like this ridiculous series, but hasn't necessarily transitioned that performance at the start of ESL Impact into the regular season. So to see her step up right here as an anchor and just atomize 4 players is a really good start for MIBR on their opponent's map pick, and kind of just maybe sets the tone for what's to come.
4 players that should have been 5. Darn it, Younger. Oh, Olga now playing the outside hold. Oh my god, Danny, calm down, calm down. You've done enough. It's okay. Chill. Let someone else get a kill. Well, that round was over in the blink of an eye. I don't think we were expecting too much out of it. Now is where 4Magic are in with an opportunity. Unfortunately, no bomb plant for 2 consecutive rounds means that it's going to be a... There's not going to be much left over at the end of this, and they do have to sacrifice a little bit, so it's going to be 3 Galils along with all of the utility. It's a bit of an unfortunate way, but it's not the worst imaginable. We need to start seeing a little bit of a resurgence from them into this round. Already the util battle, the dumping across the board. This kind of stem any sort of crazy aggressions have started very early on.
Nades in the smoke for MIBR, they have got some information that there hasn't been much outside, but they haven't got enough to go, okay, yeah, we can defend A and ramp. So it's forced a rotation from Danny. She's left a vacant bomb site, and because of that, Younger maybe paying more close attention towards heaven. This means Gabby's very isolated towards ramp, and here they come. She does molly them off, and that's a very key smoke to put down. That is very surprising. 4Magic don't hunt Gabby down and respect the utility that much.
We do have confirmation Imperial did in fact win their series, a 2-1 fashion. And MIBR looking to try and replicate that, maybe do it a little bit better as we kick off here with a trade-off. Anna X good for the first before she's put straight down, but the ramp has been taking control of Selax. Oh, we're not respecting Younger there. We want to shut that down as quickly as possible, and Olga under heavy fire as well. Molotov to just try and deter, and she can finish that up. Babs has found the tiniest little gap in the Molotov there to survive a moment later. A teammate groups up, and Olga is not much longer for this world. Poppins on one, slips away, runs directly into the crosshair of Brandina, but Danny is there up from the vent, and she'll get the final kill of the round. She couldn't get the final in the pistol, but she got the final in this one, and you know, that clutches them that third round.
Okay, Danny is raining on the 4Magic parade right now. If there was any permutations that 4Magic were potentially able to make it through to the ESL Impact Season 8 finals in Stockholm, Danny's just going, no, there isn't. We're winning this game today. And it's actually quite upsetting for 4Magic, right? Like, they do everything correctly. They have that really nice delayed ramp take. They are able to... catch Younger, who maybe over-aggressively tried to help Gabby, who also died very quickly. So a poor round for MIBR on the default, but then save because Danny's individualism just flourishes And for Magic, it's also even further disappointing. No bomb down. They just got Tech 9s right now.
That's rough. 3 rounds in and not a single bomb plant to show for it. MIBR certainly making a bit of a statement here. You want to give some flowers, you know, they managed to get 4 kills in that round, doing that little bit of damage, but
it's a good
ultimately
round.
It's not going to make... Yeah, I mean, it's all about how much of a difference it's going to make long term. So with the Tech 9s now, we're going to go for a little bit of a crazy rush, push straight in, Olga spraying through the smoke. Oh, that's devastation. Josie already off the board now. And unfortunately, that forces for Magic to have to slow down. And in a round like this, you can't afford to slow down. They've already lost their second player. They have to rethink their entire strategy. They've only got 2 pieces of utility remaining off the back of how this round started. And with only 3 players left as well, it will certainly be difficult to garner any sort of real map control here. Still over a minute remaining, so they've got some time to change up their strategy. For the moment, MIBR are still heavily focused on ramp. A high suspicion that it's going to be a push down there. It's the quickest rotation down towards B, so maybe that just makes the most sense to them. Maybe that's why 4Magic have decided to go for the slightly more surprising play here. Oh, Poppins. She's on the inside, so she's fine. There was a second where I thought maybe she was in the outside scenario. Oh no, they're gonna re-hit A. Oh, devastation. They just run straight into the waiting crosshairs. I thought maybe they'd try and slip down secret, but no, re-hit the A site and just get melted.
Okay, Danny's just not missing anything right now. What? How did she get 2 there? That was a pretty wild spray. We're just like, her bullets are like magnets. Like, yeah, she's moving. Okay, fair enough. Danny's 11-0. She also just activates a fight in Hut. Like, she's having one of those games where she's just dueling, she's brawling, and no one's stopping her. Now we're starting to see Younger take matters into her own hands as she gets aggressive outside. There's also, surprisingly, not much support around her. So if 4Magic do choose to go and activate and try hit towards ramp or A, they're going to be very rudely awoken, but that there are a lot of players here. And Younger's also just rotated ramp.
It was the right call to make. Oh no, all the distraction created by Younger means nobody's even looking for Gabby. Celax has been a phenomenal sniper in the past, regardless of which weapon she has in hand. Will she be able to win out this battle? It's not often that you get to see the head-to-head, the direct head-to-head between Orpers. Oh, the slow peek into her crosshair. The second onto Gabby, who knew she was there, but maybe not expecting the re-peek. And suddenly, this has brought itself into a far more doable scenario. 2 kills, but Danny's still alive, and Danny has had a formidable performance so far. Swings open the door, shuts down the bomb planter. Celax is good for an extra one. Oh, but it's going to take the miracle of all miracles, and unfortunately, that miracle is denied. A lot of damage done, but again, does it matter? Look at the sheer amount of money that MIBR have in their banks after 5 consecutive round wins. It is scary.
That's actually such just a beautiful round from MIBR. As I was saying in the moment, when a team does get aggressive with the AWP peeking back red like that, there's normally, at a minimum, 3 players there. Getting support, maybe someone goes close towards Silo, and the reason why 4Magic then just hit ramp is because they assume, yes, there are 3 players there, so they think that there's a weakness elsewhere on the map, and I think it's a good call from 4Magic. MIBR, there was no weakness, and Younger also disengaged instantly. This is MIBR playing some beautiful Counter-Strike right now, and it doesn't look like it's going to stop as Olga's heard all of that noise going down B.
Oh, she's going to wrap behind them, and they have no idea that she's there, man. No. Oh, God, Olga. Oh, that's unfortunate. Bit of a weird one there, but she'll manage to get the one at least. Unfortunately, we've already had 2 trade backs. The bomb's been planted. This is a bit of a weird one. 1 rifle handed on over to Josie. Now they just need to try and hold the line as far as possible. MIBR have everything that they need to turn this round back around. Younger sneaking up behind.
Oh my God.
Pivots away from her position. They can create a little bit of a flank scenario here, make it a little bit more difficult. Closed. The tap on the bomb. And now they're trying to spray through the smoke, trying to shut that down, but it's just not going to be allowed. Finally, a bomb plant. but it's still a 6th round for MIBR.
God, if I'm Jossie, I'm sitting there thinking, what more can I do? You know, she hides. I don't know how she never gets spotted behind that double door. And then still, somehow, Younger expects her and battle orps. Quick scope with the sniper rifle. Oh my God, what a shot. That's the Jossie who was picked up for the Fluxo Demonos last year, and unfortunately when she made it through to the ESL Impact finals, that was their worst finals with this core. Right now this could be a bit of redemption for her, but instead it looks like it's gonna be redemption for this MIBR roster as they are just shutting down anything for Magic throw at them. And gotta remember, this is the underdogs map pick. This is for Magic's map pick, and would you guess it?
It's really tough. I mean, again, you know, I wanted to kind of temper things a little bit at the start when I said, yes, they had a 4-0 run, but they were playing against the, for lack of a better term, the bottom of the barrel teams leading up into this. So they had a meteoric rise in the scoreboard all the way to the top, but they still had to fight the demons, the raid bosses, the ultimate queens of the region. And I don't just mean MIBR, right? They still had Fury on the horizon at the time. They still had Atrix on the horizon. And things have been going a little bit more difficult for them. This has been their litmus test. And unfortunately, it looks like they are middling out and not quite ready to kind of put their weight in with the biggest teams of the region. But that being said, we've had a couple of close rounds here. There are signs of life from this roster. And as we've said before, you know, there are some incredible performers on this team. But coming up against the likes of MIBR, I think that it's a little bit misleading to look at this and go, oh, well, it's, you know, it's full Magic's map pick, and therefore MIBR are no slouches on Nuke. They've been decent on this map, and, you know, starting on that CT side, having the kind of firepower that they do have. 2 of their players are already on double digits. What can you do at that point?
I mean, to be honest, it's actually interesting to see how MIBR's map pool has developed over time, that we've seen Dust 2 being incorporated a bit more. They've been picked into that. Mirage obviously been picked into this series, and Nuke being picked for them, right? Like, Nuke is obviously a good map for Magic, but it's not something we've seen MIBR play much so far, or at all actually, in this ESL Impact season. And the reason why that's surprising is because the core of Goddess, Poppins, and Younger, I've always just kind of looked at them and thought, okay, what's the map veto? What's the map pick? And it's been synonymous with Nuke throughout. Goddess obviously played on the T side very much like, I'm going to make all the space, and then you guys are going to thrive off the space I make outside. So it is actually going to be interesting seeing how Olga approaches the T side and how this squad does in general, since that's a pretty drastic change changing out the IGL. But so even though it's Olga's new leadership and they're under her tutelage, the core of these players have always been the best in this region on Nuke. So, you know, I haven't played it recently. Kind of, so what?
So what, indeed. I think that's also their attitude about the whole thing. So what? Feels like they're not really having too much competition in this. As much as I'm saying there are some signs of life, particularly from Celax. And she's... Man, I don't want to dog on this team too hard, but she's been the only one that's really had much to say in this map so far. That being said, Gabby and Poppins haven't really done much either, but when you don't even have the opportunity, exactly, like Younger and Danny have just been on top of absolutely everything from start to finish. It does make it a little bit more difficult for you to
promising.
Maybe it's Celax that's playing that tip of the spear, but they are walking straight into Olga. Olga's been having a really good show. Oh, Gabby here for the crossfire as well. How? How is Olga good for 2? And then Gabby with the follow-up as well. And all that promise taken away. The bomb's now been lost. And the last 2 players left standing here, they couldn't even get a trade onto Olga. She's able to back away without, you know, barely scraping her knees at that point. So now it's just about maybe getting a little bit of damage down. They want to try and slip down the vent, and Poppins will not allow it. An extra 2 kills for her. Pad those stats a little bit. MIBR up to 8.
What were you saying about Poppins and Gabby not doing much?
I mean, you know.
Am I missing something? Why has Gabby just left ramp and gone down B? For Magic, 3 players got down secret, and as far as I was aware, MIBR didn't know. Olga rotated down, okay, normal, outside player goes down. Not necessarily normal that she's the one to rotate, but Younger was still holding with the AWP. Gabby just leaving her post on ramp was kind of insane. It was a great read, and now Gabby on her post, this time is able to double down. She's struggled previously when they've charged her. And for MIBR, they've got a player advantage. They've got all the advantages, to be honest. For Magic need to do something a bit brazen, and that brazen is just going to be walking through the hell smoke, but Younger acutely waiting and ready for this. Everyone's got their Tech 9s out, but it's Babs, who is currently the highest rated player in this season of ESL Impact. A 1 versus 4 it would be, and she's actually making this work. So far, 2 kills. Does she expect Olga? No, but Olga misses her opportunity. Poppins not mobilized outside, but a timing. Babs shot in the side, and MIBR sustain their flawless streak.
I think that was more an attempt to hold on to that AWP if possible. And she had an inkling. She was trying to scope in. She realized that Poppins was there, but not necessarily a seasoned AWPer. Can't quite get the quick scope like we've seen from the likes of Younger. And does get caught out a little bit there. Tries to make it a bit more expensive, and thankfully does manage to do that. But let's face it, we're now moments away from the end of the half, and this may be the last buy that 4 Magic are going to be able to scrape together here. They might get one more in the final round of the half, but so far it has been devastation. Poppins holding the line, good for a double before being traded. Gabby's just snuck around behind them, only gets one, a little bit maybe a little bit too early on the firing squad there before she's traded. But it's down to 2 players once again. Selex and Josie, hand in hand. Everything to do here. A miracle needed. Olga's already in possession. Has an inkling of where that bomb's being planted. The HE doesn't quite land where she wanted it to, so she's going to have to follow that up with a molly, and even that doesn't do what she wants it to do. The bomb has been planted. Selex brings it to an even kilter, but does she know that there's someone behind her? Hasn't got a clue. The HE will clean her up, and now Josie has to do this on her own. Oh god, checking the ramp angle, has no idea that both players are coming from the exact same place. Shot in the back of the head, a defuse to connect, double digits, 10-0 for MIBR.
I thought that was going to be it. I thought that was going to be the moment for 4 Magic. It shouldn't have been. That round should have been over in about 20 seconds. Poppin gets these 2. Gabby flanks, and I'm not going to lie, Gabby kind of whiffs. Bit of a miss spray from her, but the 2 versus 2 is clinical. They don't go too fast, right? They don't overplay their hands. They know they have time. Utilities play seriously well. And for 4 Magic, sure, a bomb plant that will allow for another purchase due to the max loss bonus. But with 2 rounds left in this half, even if they do get 2, I don't think that matters. To be fair, we're past the conversation of, oh, if they get 3 rounds, it might be contestable. Since like 6 rounds in, I was like, yeah, MIBR, they're going to sweep this. But are they going to be sweeping it this hard is the question. Like this, I didn't expect.
Is it really mean of me to say this is exactly what I expected? I just had so much faith in MIBR and that they were going to just be slamming their way through this one.
Hey, you were the one that was starting to question your who you predicted at the start. Don't sit
Not
it
for
all
MIBR,
high.
friend.
Don't sit it all high and mighty. You were like, oh yeah,
No.
Isn't this like shouldn't I be picking the underdogs?
When have I ever said that?
You literally said that to me. Like you were like, oh, but that's how this season's going.
Was MIBR playing at the time?
Yes, this was like 10 minutes ago.
No,
how long ago our pre-show was.
I don't know, friend. I think you're making things up. Fake news. Freddy is AI confirmed. She's making stuff up now. He's basically
apparently so is Younger, because she has just randomly shot through the smoke and found a second.
standard young. I mean, Olga did that a few rounds back as well. Like, that's the thing with smoke spam, right? I feel like it's an... This sounds really stupid, but I feel like smoke spam is an underutilized thing. Like, it's not like an ability. I don't want to call it an ability. It's not really a strat. It's literally
Someone's been watching too much Valorant. An ability.
I don't know, man. Prove me wrong. It's working.
I think so. Like, obviously, smoke spam with A1Ss, they can't see your traces. But if you have an AK or whatever, they can see your traces. You can get spam back and also can get caught on reload. Like, smoke spam is a good thing to do, especially on Nuke CT side outside, to just try and exactly what like Younger and we've seen Olga do, right? But gotta be careful because they could pop through and kill you on the reload because, you know, that's all audible. They could spam you back. Like, it's one of those things where it's good, but don't overuse it. It's yeah, gotta find the subtleties of it.
The sweet spot.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
also, I mean, as you spam through, we've got dynamic smokes now. So
yes, that actually is a big thing. If you watch donk demos, which I would never advise if someone's trying to learn, by the way, but if you do watch it, how he like spams smokes in the like close, because you can see like all good riflers do it, but it's like you kind of spam a smoke when you're close to it or when you're on the edges of it, and you can just see through it.
Yeah.
But again, it reveals your position. So yeah, subtleties, right?
High risk, high reward. You gotta risk it for the biscuit, so to speak. All right, last round for 4 Magic to find themselves a biscuit. Not the greatest loadout. Oof. 1 AK on Babs. I'm even convinced that's the person you should have given it to. As much as she's been the hero of this team for the entirety of this season, unfortunately hasn't had the greatest showing today. Josie opens things up, Brindina follows it up, and there Babs activates at last. We might actually have a round on the board here, folks. Gabby and Younger gonna try to battle this back. Younger gets one, brings it up to a second. With only 2 players remaining now, Brindina, the tiniest little bit of damage would put her in the grave. Gabby does just that, cannot find the final one. And in the final dying embers of this half, 4 Magic find 1.
Once we start, you know we're never gonna stop.
1 round is all 4Magic got on their own map pick, on their T side. It isn't looking pretty. MIBR are contending for not only the best in South America, but just honestly the best in the world with how some of the favorites are looking. And performances like this are certainly proving that. Danny, however, who was on a Stormer at the beginning of the first half, gets decapitated. Poppins in the same fate. And MIBR, they will get on the B-bomb site. It's a 3 versus 5 disadvantage.
Oh, Olga. Gotta stick that. A little bit of nervousness, not knowing if there's anybody nearby. They do get that bomb down, and it's more than we can say for 4Magic on their pistol round. So even if this does end up in a loss, which is looking quite likely, at least they'll have that little bit of extra money into the next round, which could make things very scary. Olga loses her life on the site there, to be expected. MIBR struggling to even get anything in this round. They only had the 1 kill onto Selax. 4 players remain at the end of the round for 4Magic. Not a terrible start to the second half, but it's a baby step. It's a crawl on the way to baby steps. There is still so much more that needs to be done.
Yeah, they're on top of the molehill, and it's like Mount Everest they still have to climb, right? Like there is a very, very long way. At least, though, because they got that final round and a half, they're starting to string some rounds together, and they still have the ability to end this off in regulation. And yes, I'm puffing that copium. That's what you have to tell yourself. That's what you have to tell yourself. It's good to see maybe someone like Selax, who obviously is going to be bringing out that big green on the CT side. Well, I mean, if they can get, hopefully she can, if they get to a stage where she can. But like Younger was just like so good on the AWP. She was so dynamic, always moving, always getting herself in the right position, and also just hitting all of the really hard and difficult shots, while also hitting the easy shots that you have to hit, right? The consistencies. Selax is someone who, alongside Brandina, unfortunately last week against Furia, did not perform. The 2 newest additions to 4Magic that we were praising as not notoriously part of the core top 3 teams, delved into the lower echelons or the middling echelons of South America. Brandina and Selax, they stood out, they arise, they do well in the opening 4 games, but against the top dogs, they struggle. That cannot happen today at all. It obviously has just across the board, unfortunately. But if there ever is time for redemption, this AWP needs to go huge on the CT side.
All right, here we go. Second round with the bomb plant. They've pulled out the Mac 10s. I like this. They've sacrificed the big guns in favor of a ridiculous amount of utility. We're going to pop straight in onto the site, and we're going blow for blow. We're trading out. Danny doing absolutely everything she can, but they do find themselves in possession. Unfortunately, the response from 4Magic is incredibly strong. So despite everything thrown into this round, it's all down to Younger, and she cannot get it done. 2 kills for them in this one, but no bomb planted, no extra round. 4Magic up to 3.
That's a really nice reaction from 4Magic. As you mentioned, they don't ever allow MIBR to get settled and situate themselves on that bomb site. So as soon as the defenders and the immediate anchors fall, boom, instant retake. But they don't also overrush it. They still play it together. A nade in the main smoke, double swing, right? Like they're still playing the probabilities. So for MIBR, the force buy doesn't work, and they're going to try at this again, but this time it's unarmored pistols and just Glock. So this should be a farm for Jossie.
Nope. Just one. Instantly traded back somehow. They found themselves on the site again. 4Magic playing a little bit more off-site, playing in for the retake, yeah? And, well, as to be expected, gonna be a little bit of cleanup. We want to see a bit of damage done. Danny's still alive with a Tech 9 in hand, so nope, not gonna be able to get too much more done. Oh, it's Gabby to step up and get a little bit more. 3 kills into this round. Now, don't let this fool you. They're slowly chipping away at this economy. Yes, there's going to be AWP out on the board, but now MIBR have a full buy, an AWP of their own. If they win this round, 4Magic's money is busted.
Pretty sure Olga tried to get down the vent with the bomb there and then kept on missing. And then just, there was a CT player that she was being blocked on. Ever so awkward. But still 7 rounds down before Magic. Look, they've got 4 in a row and they're still 7 behind. Salix on the AWP needs to go huge. Younger, AWP of her own. A very... Ooh, what is going on? Babs? That is very over-eager, and she gets rightfully caught out of place by quite an easy opening kill. Babs, who's been a rock solid for 4Magic so far this season, is like paper mache on Nuke. And MIBR, it's actually just too easy when the rifles come out. Like, that default is just far too easy.
Oof, Olga is actually just unfair, man. Popping to get that first. Olga following up with 2. And this is what I was saying. This is the scary part. Rifles in hand. Economy very close to being completely busted. Only 2 players remaining now for the CT side. Olga's going to get herself torn apart. But now they have that information. They know where Selax is. And HE through the smoke, trying to find an opening, an opportunity, but nothing given. And surely they just go for a save here. Surely they just back away and try to hold on to what they have. Selax in a really tight spot. I am amazed that she's able to get out of that position. And yes, they will just back away and hold on to the weapons that they have because, well, it's come to fruition. Map point for MIBR and 4Magic in a very tight scenario.
It's sad to see Babs go for maneuvers like that because I don't know if that was a miscommunication that she thought that she was able to have that space as Poppins was top main. Like, that's a pretty audible sound cue that should be given away. No one seemed to know that she was there as Babs just like jumps up and is just, you're kind of sitting there thinking, okay, thanks, I guess. And for Babs in general, it's kind of sad to see her struggling as first 4 games of the season against the lower rated teams, she was, I think, 2nd highest rated in ESL Impact Season 8 South America. But there was an asterisk of, oh, hasn't played one against one of the top 3 teams. Last week against Furia, the only reason why it was even remotely contestable was because Babs was just so consistent. And today she's going negative and hasn't really had any impact. But you know who has? Olga taking space towards outside, another scalp to add to her tally.
Fragging IGL strikes again. And she's always been kind of a tip of the spear entry, just being an absolute menace to enemy teams. But, oh, okay, we got a little bit of bite back. Unfortunately, can't get too much. Oh, my God, Ana X around the outside. Oh, my God. She's put them in such a dangerous position now. Olga has to 1v2. She got hers. She's like, guys, I got my opener. I did my job. And the rest of her team have fallen by the wayside. 1 versus 2 now. She's got to isolate these fights. Should have an inkling and walk straight into Josie's crosshairs. That was looking very much like it was going to be the end of the line, but 4Magic battle back.
I actually can't really believe they won that round. Felt like that was a sure footing for 13 for MIBR. But 4Magic, they gamble stack 2 players towards ramp, leave the A bomb site a little bit open, while also getting aggressive in towards lobby. You can see that Babs rotates in to help Brandina. They get 2. They stifle the attack just long enough for the rotation to come through. Very clean shooting from Josie as well at the end. Alongside Ana X, as 4Magic, they get to 5. And Olga once more tries to continue her up push trajectory outside, but this time seriously shut down. And that same theme goes in the same vein for the whole of MIBR. They're losing some rounds, but especially like this, it's just the Tech-9s, right?
Mm-hmm. Weren't really expecting too much to come out of this one. Maybe some damage, maybe some stolen guns. Ooh, I thought she might be able to get behind Selax there.
She did spot Selax.
AWP. Oh my goodness, it's happening. Oh, it's happening. Oh, there we go. Free AWP. And where are we going? What are we doing with this?
Bomb's round.
Don't have the bomb. Yeah, I mean, it's so far away. Trying to recover that is darn near impossible.
Let's just save the AWP.
For this. Maybe Gabby tries to get a bit of damage and Younger just kind of backs away with the AWP and holds onto it. Or maybe Younger just plays like what's the word? Suppressive fire or backup, I suppose. And then, oh no, she's gone. She's gone. It's not suppressive fire, man. There's another word, but I've missed it.
Oh, like covering fire?
Yes, thank you. Cover fire. But no, cover this. I'm out.
Yeah, I would have suggested that Younger just either threw the AWP out if she was being pressured as well, because if you take a look at the money for Magic, like I'm pretty sure Babs should be able to get a AWP drop, but like it ain't gonna be like fantastic. You know, Anorex is still on a FAMAS, right? For Magic are trying to mount this comeback, and they haven't even got the economy to fall back on and dig deep into. So Babs will drop this AWP, but there's going to be potentially weakness when it comes to utility. Like, yeah, she can quite literally just buy an AWP. And an extra 250 that came, sorry, an extra 200 that came from kills, which is actually really important because that allows her to buy a smoke that she wouldn't ordinarily have. But regardless, it's going to be players on bad weaponry, bad util as for Magic. They continue backs against the wall. 6 in a row is needed. They fended off the pistols. They got lucky, I'd say, against the rifles. Will they get lucky again?
Well, they need 6 in a row. They've already got 5, so they've shown that they can do it, but it's all about that consistency. Let's see if they can keep going on that front. Quick updates as well. Fury are currently 7-3 against Coralzinho, so looking very good on their first map. Looking to mount a little bit of a comeback in this season after a surprising loss. Unlucky horses, honestly. Maybe next season. Next time.
Horse.
Freddy. A lot of util already expended.
Look how scared the CT side are of this outside play. I mean, they have taken really good lobby control, and that's why they've been allowed to rotate 2 players there. But there's this massive gaping hole over towards Heaven, where if MIBR just wrap outside like they have, for Magic have no one set up there, and now are caught between, well, a rock and a hard place. Like, they are quite literally in no man's land as their read. They've over-rotated and over-adjusted, thinking they had the right read.
Well, Stellax has an inkling here that they may... Oh my god. Oh my god, Poppins.
Timing.
Oh, dearie me, that was terrifying. It's really good conditioning from MIBR, however, but now the wraparound pushing out, trying to reclaim some of that space. Poppins now forced off of the high ground, potentially directly into the line of sight of the AWP. It misses its shot, and it's Danny to connect onto that. They've lost so many players, hemorrhaging forces, but we're battling back to a 2 versus 3. Never mind, Gabby's left all on her own. Despite all of the concerns in that round, MIBR remain proactive. They head down to the B site, nothing here. They're already moving. They're already making sure to reclaim that space. And as MIBR move in towards the site, they are circled in on like huntresses on the prowl.
Yeah, from kind of overcompensation for Magic to actually just like a really clinical round. I'm not sure what happened in the mid round because MIBR seemed to have a pretty good idea from Gabby, who was lurking in lobby, that for Magic had cleared out that space and were rotating down towards B. But they moved so slowly, and then because of that, for Magic also seemed to cotton on to the fact that MIBR are wrapping outside, and they just beautifully adjust. This CT side, that's at the first round where I look at and I was just thinking, oh, that's actually kind of insane that MIBR don't win that, and also just really nice reaction from 4 Magic. So it's back down to Tech 9s for the favorites. Is they're allowing the underdogs to crawl their way slowly back in.
Yeah, surprisingly good showing from 4 Magic, given especially how this half started. You don't expect them to come back from an 11-1 to this extent. MIBR struggling now to find footing on their T side. Yeah, 11-0. Yeah, I mean, the round ended at an 11-1. It's been a little bit of a resurgence since then. They've had to string so many of these rounds together, and they've done it. I mean, maybe not done it, but we're still 4 rounds away from overtime, but they've done so much. And a part of me is like, surely we take a timeout at this point. Like, surely MIBR go, okay, hang on, guys. Maybe, you know, we've just lost 8 consecutive rounds. Maybe we just kind of, okay, not consecutive, but we lost 8 rounds. Maybe we just kind of chill for a second, have a conversation, figure out how we're throwing these T-sides so badly, because this is not a good look.
I mean, to be fair, it's very CS2 actually, of just like, oh, you lose pistol, lose first gun round, and it's just like, oh, all of a sudden they've got 6 rounds. Where's that come from?
Oh my God.
This though, another big change of pace for Magic. This time they take the fight straight to MIBR. Olga dies outside, but MIBR know that for Magic put a lot of resources to take that space. They try force themselves out on this A bomb site, and even though they are correct, they are right that for Magic weren't actually there. It's the Babs show. The player I was literally just commenting upon a couple rounds ago. Oh, it's sad to see that she hasn't stepped up like she did against Furia. Well, hello. Welcome to the server. A clinical 4K to shut it all down and to keep this dream alive.
I think one of the weirdest things for me is that, like, so in the first half, MIBR, you've got Younger and you've got Danny, and they're just going absolutely mental with the multi-kills. Like, that was really the major pivot piece for that first half. You know, you could talk about CT-sided, you can talk about whatever the hell you want to talk about. The fact is, they were getting ridiculous multi-frags. Now on the T side, it's one and done, one and traded, one and can't get anything more done. And it's for Magic, who have stepped up, particularly Babs, as you mentioned, that are starting to get more of those multi-frags. I think they're doubling up on each other that little bit better, controlling the space that little bit better. MIBR maybe being a little bit too confident. Yeah, I can see a world where you come into the half 11 one and you think, oh man, we're just going to steamroll through this next half. You know, 2 rounds, 3 rounds, psh, easy. No, evidently not. They have struggled incredibly. They've only managed to pick up 1 round so far in this half. Now, this should be another relatively foregone conclusion. Again, we're kind of sacrificing bigger guns for more utility. So we're looking to try and get a very quick pop in towards the A site, already down the vents towards B, but they've lost 2 players on the cross already. On a multi-frag this time, but again, just playing off of each other perfectly. Now the bomb does go down, so there's that extra bit of cash available. Zedx has been spotted out. Younger trying to find an opening here. She will do just that. Caught with utility out, looking in the wrong direction. AWP recovered. But it's 4 versus 2 on the retake. And Younger has heard the reinforcements coming from behind her, keeping it expensive. Gets the first, does get run over eventually. Gabby now with scant HP. Cannot get those final kills. It will be the defuse. A 10th round for Magic. Unreal resurgence from this Magic squad.
Yo, I'm officially terrified. It's actually really important for MIBR to just win this series 2-0. And the reason for that is if we do get into potentially a situation where both Atrix and Furia win their last 2 remaining games and Furia beat MIBR, it then goes to a head-to-head, but then everyone is kind of like a circle of head-to-heads as everyone's beaten each other once or lost to each other. It's very awkward, right? That then goes to, because there's no clear tiebreaker, maps lost and won. So if MIBR win this series, but in a 3-mapper affair, that could potentially be the difference maker between them going to Stockholm and maybe not. So it's really important they not only win this series, but 2-0. Especially if they lose to Furia next week in that final game of the season. And it ain't a great start in what could be their final gun round. They've not only lost the opening kill, but they've been doubled down. Babs and Anorex through the smoke. MIBR, they haven't even had a default. The round hasn't even started. Younger's still at the back of outside. She still has a full belt of utility, and all her teammates have died around her.
There's been no conditioning. There's been no space control. Honestly, there haven't even been any defaults. Every single one of these T-side rounds has been kind of everybody just rushing in the same direction with 5-man snowball. Or, I mean, even if we do like a split in towards the exact same site, but we're not doing proper defaulting. We're not playing for picks. We're not, it's all just kind of trying to brute force our way in. And 4 Magic have consistently shut that down round after round. And this is why I was saying quite a few rounds back, MIBR needed to take a timeout. They needed to have a conversation because they've approached every single round in a very similar manner. Finally, we're seeing that timeout taken, but maybe a little bit late, ladies. We're one round away from overtime. This entire map has slipped through their fingers like the sands in the very hourglass that showed during the timeout, you know, not cinematic, what's the word I'm looking for? Animation. It's not even going to be a full buy. It's going to be one of these pots and pans scenarios where Younger, the AWPer, has to run out with a MAC-10 and somehow be the opening force, the can opener that gets them in on towards the site. It's going to have to take a serious miracle if they're going to win this map on this round. Early damage done, and again, it looks like we're going to try and brute force our way in. We do have a bit of a lurk heading in towards outside, trying to maybe flank around and garner an opening. At the moment, we're still kind of posturing A to ramp. Could be either one of those. Maybe if we can find an opening, if Olga can get something out towards outside, maybe that'll be the call to accelerate. Call to make a decision. Everything has been covered quite nicely, and we slow down. Look for any signs of information, signs of life. And for Magic themselves, also playing a very quiet game. Look at this proactivity. They're starting to get aggressive. They have an inkling that the entirety of MIBR are hovering around this lobby position. They're going to get right up close and personal. Josie and Anna X in tandem get those opening frags now, but it's going to get battled back 2 for 2. And the A site is relatively open. Just a couple more frags required, but they could just slip down ramp. They could just pivot that bomb away. They're so focused in on this A site for the moment, they're not willing to change up the plan. And Olga has been sitting, waiting for something to happen. Danny about to walk into the crosshairs of Anna X, who was playing this super patiently. Oh, she's scratching her shoulder, and despite that, she's still so on top of it, so ready to activate. Olga spots out something maybe a little bit early on the trigger, gets the first, the trade-off to come through from Younger, down to a 1 versus 1. Bomb on her back. Babs is so far away. There's time, but she's going to have to be very quick on this one because Babs is about to slip up the vent. She's done just that. Bomb's going to be planted. Younger has to play this perfectly, trying to spot out something. Her position is known. She spots it out, but she's able to duck out of the way. Babs wins out on the duel regardless. It's another predictable round from MIBR, and despite how hard they fight it back, it's Babs to clutch out that final kill. We're going to overtime.
The thing is with that round, like, it's not predictable. MIBR in a situation where the whole round is structured against exactly what 4Magic was doing. They sat in a 4-player lobby hold. Their whole point was to make sure that if 4Magic push lobby, it's being held for. And guess what? 4Magic push lobby and no one's holding for it. Sure, it's very awkward timing that MIBR go for the fake because they wanted to try go down ramp, join with Olga, who was towards Secret. They never are able to even produce that because of that lobby aggression. It's very well timed for 4Magic, but the trades are incredibly sloppy and it's very individual. And you can see from MIBR in how they were taking those duels, they looked very skittish. It felt like the nerves are getting to them. Younger starts spamming a smoke. Danny, as she's peeking a corner, looks over at Younger spamming the smoke. Like, you know, why? Olga on the lurk never activates, never gets anything done, and MIBR never feels safe that they can actually go towards ramp because Brandina is the ramp player. She was over towards A, and they didn't know about that. 4Magic from 0-11 down, from 4-12 down. They win 8 rounds in consecutive manner to fend off falling out in regulation, and on their map tick, they force us into overtime and also take a cheeky tactical pause to just let MIBR simmer in what's just happened.
This is a very disappointing look from MIBR here on the T side. I'm glad that 4Magic are able to battle it back. It's good to see those signs of life, but MIBR should, by all accounts, be a far more dominant force, particularly if they're looking to take up the mantle of best in South America, maybe even win out at finals. But at this rate, they're going to struggle when they come up against the powerhouse that is Shimmer. We'll see if we can get them through this. Bearing in mind, if they lose this, we could have like a 4-way tie at the end of the season. That's the craziest part, I think, of all of this. And in the head-to-head, 4Magic comes out on top of MIBR. Like, can you just imagine the permutations at that point? But Poppy spotted something out. Olga has gotten a kill here. Only 2 players remaining. MIBR. For 8 rounds, this was what you needed to do, and you wait until overtime to finally do it. Ana X left alone in the 1v3 clutch. Cannot make it happen. Knows that she can't. Backs away. It's taken them 8 rounds, Freddy. 8 rounds to remember how to play T-side Nuke.
And even then, like, it's a pretty sloppy round, and Gabby gets caught off in lobby. Her lurks have been very poor this whole T side. They haven't ever had any initiative about them, which is normally not something that I say about her as a player. I'm normally very impressed with how I see her in her lurking capabilities on the T side, but on that second half, when it all started being thrown away, she froze up. And especially on this overtime, like, how is she not winning those duels? There's so many times in regulation, I was just looking at her alert, being like, do something, do something. You've got the sound keys, you've got the information, do something, do something. Wasn't confident to do so. And because of that, either activates too late or not at all and misses the timing. So for MIBR, finally they hit 13, but they're not out of the water just yet.
Left it very late for that. We're still doing the same takes, bro. This is the same take they did 2 rounds ago. Olga towards outside. A little bit of posturing towards ramp. This time, Olga's going to get that opener. She's going to slip down towards outside. They know that she's been playing a little bit of a roamer, though, so we're not going to have an overcommitment from 4Magic. Oh! Flash takes her off of her position. Molotov is perfectly placed, and that's going to allow them the space that they need to start moving down towards the ramp. An extra flash just for good measure. We're not taking any chances at this point with that kill from Olga, giving them the go-ahead. They can move down towards this B site. Olga caught in outside. Not going to get any more done. But still, we've got positioning. We have an opportunity. Bomb yet to be planted, clearing out every single nook and cranny, making sure that they can plant in a contestable, a holdable position. And 4Magic have just gone for a save. All right, cool, fair enough. We out.
Honestly, I'm a little bit scared that when Olga dies there, that could have prompted the beginning of a retake. Felt like a very unnecessary death for her, especially after she took all that space down towards Secret. Why don't leave Gabby in lobby if you want someone to lurk? I know she's been struggling, but Olga should have from that position, she's very lucky that no one rotates down vent or no one challenges this round from 4Magic from A to ramp, because she should have been there to clear all of that out and assist in her teammates getting onto that bomb site. So honestly, just again, not a massive fan of that round, but lucky that Celex doesn't get a pick outside, towards ramp. And honestly, that Olga gets a opening kill where she gets caught out of position, but her aim wins out the duel and saves her.
And the really concerning part about this is that all of 4Magic's success on this map has been on the CT side. So the CT side of overtime has not gone well for them, and it does not bode well for the rest of the map. And for, you know, MIBR, it's great to see them finally remembering how to play the map, but I don't know, there was a little part of me deep in my heart, as much as I felt like MIBR should be running away with this, I was like, you've gotten so close, surely you can get one map in this series. Speaking of getting a map, Furia have beaten Cruzeiro. Cruzeiro managed to take 6 rounds off of them, so not a bad performance against the current reigning world champions, but unfortunately not going to be enough for them to steal that map away. The Fury will go up 1-0 in their series, and we'll see which one of our 2 teams join them in that scoreline. As now MIBR slow things down a little bit again. It's looking like a 5-person push in towards the outside. The last time they tried this, they all got mowed down, if everybody can cast their minds back a little bit. This time around, they've been given a lot of space to work with. Yeah, a lot of room to breathe. Oh, God. Oh, God, Celex is here. She's waiting. Surely something, a piece of util, something small, but no. Younger just peeks into her, and that's not even the first time Younger's done that. Opening kill garnered for 4Magic. MIBR now need to find a way to stabilize. It's Poppins this time, who's gone on a little bit of a round-the-world tour. Why are we shift walking through outside with no cover whatsoever? Poppins at least gets a double to keep things in contention. But that was a seriously weird play from MIBR. They're going to be able to get that bomb planted. 3 versus 2 retake is more than doable for the 4 Magic squad. They cannot afford to try and let this slide. They have to push for this. They have to go. Moving in, no real awareness. They should know where Poppins is. I swear. Oh my god, it's so close. Brandina, are you going to realize? You've just allowed Poppins to get another kill before you finally activate. Brandina in a 1 versus 1. Danny is so dangerously low. All it's going to take is a tickle, but time is ticking away. Danny playing that clock to its final moments. Brandina's just going to try and stick this, and Danny will not allow it. MIBR once again find themselves on map and series points as we head into the second half of overtime.
Danny
Not series point, just map.
Danny continuing her really, really good form. From start to finish, she's been a star-studded player for this MIBR roster on Nuke. And it's really good to see that she's picking up the pace, as she has struggled a little bit this season. Or not struggled, just hasn't been maybe all guns blazing. But it's Poppins to ultimately open up this round and give MIBR the winning chance. MIBR, they lose 2 players, 3 players. They have no idea where to go. Their plan A doesn't work, plan B doesn't work, plan C doesn't work, and somehow like plan E gets pulled off through individual brilliance. Now on their CT side, on their defense, where they got 11 rounds in a row, surely they can get 3 or 1 out of 3.
They got 1 out of 12. You know, it's still just about, because if you think about it contextually, it was 1 out of the last 3, so maybe. Oh, okay, we've got some good openers here. Numbers advantage as well. Oh, but Younger's just not gonna allow it, man. Younger's on the CT side with an AWP in hand. Like, what are you meant to do against that? And it is, yeah. They have to try and recover the bomb, and Younger is just babysitting it. Poppins is in this position, as you mentioned, up, elevated, predicted, but unfortunately can't win the first one. The trade to come through, but what more can you do? They still don't have the bomb, bro. They're actively running away from the bomb. And it's, again, they know that Younger is here babysitting now as they start making their way back towards it. Looks like they are indeed going to try to push this. Younger with a reposition. Oh my god, through the smoke. She's just so good. Can't get that second. She might just get run over here, but she'll be able to calm that over. Olga can get herself into position. Josie's all alone on an island. Smokes all around her, hearing the shots being fired from Olga, slips down the ramp. She's going to be running straight into Younger, who's ready and waiting. Map point stolen away by MIBR. It took them an unfathomable number of rounds, Freddy, to finally get to the end goal of that map, but they've done it. And they, you know what? They look surprisingly happy given how close that came.
To be fair, I would be pretty happy as well. Like, as in just such a sigh of relief, you know. MIBR did a bit of trolling, decided viewer retention, disappointing. So now for them, they go onto a map where there's actually a very easy and just kind of funny comparison. Carlzinho took 4 matches to overtime. MIBR beat them 13-3 on Mirage. Ooh. Comparison, boom.
The power of transitive properties. We all know that that is an absolute joke. And funnily enough, it's how we, deal with head-to-head ties. This one beat that one, rock, paper, scissors, and somehow we try and figure out who was the better team in the moment. But now it all comes down to the truth of it. The proof of the pudding is in the eating. We'll find ourselves on the pudding of Mirage. What kind of a pudding would Mirage be?
Victoria sponge. No, lemon sponge, like a lemon cake.
Because it's dusty?
Yeah.
Is that where we've gone?
And it's just like basic.
Wow. I mean, you're not wrong, but wow. Speaking of basic pistol. Babs with a 3K, full magic. Gonna be feeling pretty good off of the back of that one. Reinforce the B site a little bit, and MIBR just get smacked around a bit.
Yeah, we kind of glazed over it by talking about cakes, but that is That is a pretty good start for 4Magic. Speaking about cakes, though, I made a Aperol Spritz cake recently, which I loved. So that's my input to the cake conversation.
Thank you for your input.
Yeah, I
Has
cook.
been invaluable. What
I
do you
bake.
bake? There you go. Oh my God, Stellax. Ah, she doesn't even get anything. That's really upsetting. Up close and personal through the smoke. Does some damage, but just gets smacked straight down. This is a good opportunity for MIBR. They're going to be able to press this. And I shudder to call it an advantage, given that Danny's now on 6 HP. She's barely a 5th person, but she is on the board. She could potentially play... Human flashback, exactly, right? Play a little bit of a bait scenario. Allow them to just kind of focus in on her as they start to make their way in. A little bit of utility starting to come through. Brandina repositions on towards the site. It's a good call from her. Danny now, tip of the spear. My God, she gets one with 6 HP. You absolute animal. Picks up the MP9. Can't really do anything with it. Ana X, a beautiful little bit of damage done there by her, but eventually will get run over herself. Now Babs and Josie, a little bit far removed from one another. I'm not yet planted, so looking to find an opening if they can. Shots being fired creates a little bit of a diversion from Connector. It's exactly what Babs needs. Oh my God. The synergy between these two players is disgusting. Now Younger has to 1v2. Good for the first, spots out the head. Little bit dangerous here. She's in a bit of a tight scenario. There's far more of her to aim at than there is Josie, but it doesn't even matter. The AWPing reflexes come into fruition. Final kill connected. Economy basically reset. MIBR in a really good spot.
The last time we saw Younger in a 1v1 in this series was at 12-11, and she lost, and 4Magic were able to force it to overtime. This time, the 1 versus 2, she prevails, and it's a dastardly round for MIBR, all starting off from that opening kill. Stellax overextends in middle. It's just a call that I fundamentally don't like. They try to get aggressive against what would be an eco or a force buy, and even though Babs clears out the whole of B and calls her teammates to stack towards that A-bomb site, it's not enough, but maybe the force buy of 4Magic itself can pack a punch.
We've already had a nice little opener here, a good follow-up as well. Maybe MIBR getting a little bit too overconfident in light of the fact that that should have been a full economic reset, but 4Magic was still somehow able to bring something into the round. Now through the fire and the flames, we'll finally see a little bit of a bite back. Gabby and Poppins hand in hand pushing in onto the site, but it's 1 versus 2. Gabby, with so much to do, has picked up an M4. A bit of firepower in her back pocket. Has she got any idea where these last couple of players are? They're doing so well to hide their positioning. Spots the first. Oof, the happy feet from Ana X. Well, there you go. Manages to duck and dive and brings 4Magic back up to 2. And it's the Uno reverse card of economic resets.
Yeah, really nice round from 4Magic. The mid aggression didn't work out in their favor in the second round. They couldn't convert that. It was actually their downfall. But after losing their anti-force buy, they go for mid aggression once more. And the reason why that's so important is because, okay, yeah, Stellax, the only player on the A-bomb site, kind of quote unquote alone, but she had such quick reinforcements and Josie was so quick on the flank, and 4Magic were able to commit so much resources instantly towards A because of how much space they took towards mid, and they were able to say, no one's coming from here, let's focus on Ramp and Palace. It's a shutdown, and once more it's going to be a shutdown on the B bomb site as it's mid aggression into a site hold.
Yeah, unfortunately, this round was probably a bit of a foregone conclusion. I say that, I mean despite
like,
how
yeah,
the last
exactly what happened,
gone,
right? In round 2.
You know? A little bit of a chaotic one, but 4Magic start to stabilize a little bit, yeah. Not proper stabilization, as it's still a little bit broken into this one. We're still going to have the 2 MP9s, but they are better off than their counterparts. MIBR tried to go in for some upgraded pistols in that previous round, tried to go for some shenanigans, and now it's almost a full eco. The only real bit of firepower they're going to have is that Deagle from Gabby. Maybe she'll be able to get something done with it. She did kick off the, first pistol in the previous with a near ace. If she can get a little bit more done here, maybe that's the... Oh my god, that is terrifying, bro. You just swing into underpass there and just spot 4 players. That is so scary. That's going to get calmed over, however. So Anna X knows she might be in a good position here, but they're not going to opt to push her, realizing that there might be someone there. But look at how 4Magic have taken control of this map. Every single opening that is...
Hello?
What? Babs? What? Caught sleeping at the wheel. Yeah, maybe
Jinx
looking
padlock.
at the... Nice try.
That's against the rules of Jinx.
No, I get paid per word. So unfortunately, I simply cannot allow that to stand. Anna X also cannot allow for that injustice to stand, so she's going to get 2 for herself. But somehow we're still in a 3v3 scenario, and 2 guns have been given over to MIBR. That's a little bit of a scary turn of events. The B site is free and clear. Yeah, they're just going to make their way on over, moseying along, but Josie should be able to cut them off, and there's already been a rotation from Celax as well, so this should set up a decent little bit of a crossfire. Still have 2 guns available here. There's a world in which I feel like maybe Danny should hand over that rifle. You know, she has been fantastic, but she's so low. She's so low HP though, and this is
they don't have armor.
Scares me. They're just gonna jump straight through the window. The first shot to connect, second to follow up, and 1 player left remaining. Not much more damage to be done there. It's a little bit of a weird round, but at the end of the day, it's a 4th for 4Magic.
Kind of the first like big introduction for Josie as well. You can see she gets quite loud in the cameras, and I don't blame her because she really did have a very rough first map. Not ending great, but ending a lot better than what she started. She was like 0-7, 0-8. So she very much stepped up into things, but then still never kind of had that one like that round. So here right now, Josie on the scorecards of a multi-kill at MIBR. It's fast on the rifles. First gun round, and Brandina only on an MP9 has to try and stave off this attack.
Oh, looks like there will be some staving. Josie doing a phenomenal job there. Hard anchoring. Anna X, can't quite finish her meal, unfortunately, and that's going to allow Gabby back into it. You cannot allow Gabby back into it, but in the 1 versus 1, caught in a reload, and it's Josie to shut her down. Another round that gets a little too close for comfort, but 4Magic having a go of this Mirage.
And also back-to-back multi-kills for Josie, specifically triple kills. Okay, so that's what happened. She breaks open the top con smoke, because I was a little bit confused. I was like, everyone's looking at Brandina, and then Josie just gets 2 kills. She also just comms over that the stairs player was there, so massive impact from her, but Gabby makes a real good work out of that round. She creates magic, fire out of completely just air, just dust. And I think that's good to see that she's getting on the scorecards, as I was disappointed of her performance on Nuke.
Must admit, a lot of these MIBRT rounds, not just now, but I mean, thinking back to Nuke as well, it's kind of felt a little bit disjointed. I mean, this is a team that should be a little bit more clean cut. And we're seeing a lot of strange things happening. In their rifle rounds, they're not really playing as clean as they should be. Of course, that being a, low buy, wibbly wobbly scenario. Again, not really expecting too much out of it, but we're finally going to have a rifle round once again for them. And it's a well-timed timeout as well, just to give them a little bit of a moment to talk through. Because again, they're kind of being read into really well. And in these clutch moments where they normally shine so bright, 4Magic just kind of consistently getting the better of them in all of these scenarios. So we really do need to see a little bit more of a resurgence here from the MIBR squad if they want to be able to stake their claim as the best in the region. I must admit, though, I'm not necessarily becoming a believer, but I'm a supporter. I'm feeling like I want 4Magic to win just for the shenanigans, just for the crazy 4-person. No. Again, it's not about believing. It's not about believing. It's about hoping. It's about wishing upon a star. Because finding 4 teams in a head-to-head scenario would be absolutely hilarious. And I live for the chaos.
Turncoat. I'm having nothing else. I don't really know what's going on with MIBR's map picks. They've picked into Ancient, Dust 2, Mirage, Inferno. They've kind of gone everywhere. I would have seen Dust 2 as maybe them playing into their strengths this map. But have Nuke and Mirage, 2 maps they haven't played too much in this Veto as our opening 2 games. It's either look how deep our map pool is, or maybe we're struggling. And in this round, this is exactly what I was wanting from MIBR. For Magic, they're going to get aggressive middle. That has literally been the only thing that they've been doing in mid and in these rounds is just fighting up mid in one way or another. They do that, and it's a little bit scrappy having to like run through Molo's under, but Danny with a superstar double and Olga to contain that advantage. MIBR put their best foot forward, and it feels like now from this position in the 4 vs 2, despite Celax again getting aggressive in middle, this fake utility from Poppins is going to just drag both those remaining players over. Bomber walk out ramp, and it should be a second round for MIBR sorted, even though Poppins falls there. I still don't believe that this should be a round 1. It is scaring me how late MIBR came out ramp, though.
Oh, the bomb's still not planted. Celax is alive. Celax did not exit. Brady, you called this way too early. Young is still in it to win it, but it's going to take a lot. No, my God, the HD. Oh, my God. I can't believe you called that. I can't believe you called that. What have you done?
What are we doing? That was a 4v2.
That is so funny to me, bro.
They don't even hit a shot. They don't even connect a bullet. Like, okay, Poppins fakes out B, and she dies on the back of the B bomb site, and her teammates haven't even moved on ramp. That allows just way too ample time for Celax to go, okay, well, I'm going to rotate across the whole of the map, and MIBR is still going to be coming out of ramp.
Poppins like, I died for this. I died for this. What are you guys doing?
She sold the round, you know? Everyone was looking at Poppins, and now Pabs has got a 2 KD for Magic. This is Magic. This is literal ludicrous black magic.
What's crazy is that Poppins sold the round and her teammates sold it up the river.
They sold her.
Yeah, they really did, bro. Poor Poppins. The sacrificial lamb. How have we gotten here? Bro, okay, I was about to start talking about how like the MIBR timeouts have been great because they generally start to get, you know, decent results right off the back of them. We just saw it happen. Now we're seeing another timeout being taken because I think that there's a moment where they're just like, guys, what are we doing here? Like, what is happening right now? I'm gonna be honest. I've been saying this all through the series, and I'm gonna say it again because whatever. But this is not my MIBR. They're playing really weird, and I don't want to take anything away from 4 Magic. I've been really impressed with how they've been playing. They've had some really good reads. They've had some really good responses to movements across the map, and we've seen them like activating, not getting overly eager in those rotations and timing things really well for themselves. Like, I'm not taking anything away from them, but MIBR, this is a very weird look from a team that we were touted as potentially the best in the— What are you doing, Olga? She just runs straight through that smoke into 3 people, instantly dies. Okay, we're getting a couple of trades now as we've garnered a little bit of space on towards the A site. The bomb's still making its way over, but this is a heavily contested site. There's 2 players here. Gabby through the fire and the flames, not able to get too much more done. Down to a 2 versus 2. Babs is like 1 HP in a dream. And still the bomb has not made its way in on towards the site. And this is scary because Onyx is still full HP. So is Danny, but they can set up a little bit of a crossfire here. The smokes now, there's actually some CT smoke. So they've blocked themselves off, but that's scaring the hell out of these last remaining MIBR players. They're too petrified to make a move, even with the little bit of utility that they do have available. And 4 Magic have made the right call. They've grouped up in jungle. They can play off of each other now, waiting for those signs of life. No smokes now to cover the cross in towards the site. Yes, they've got a couple of flashes, but that's something you're going to have to try to play off of. Hopefully they can find these last couple of players. I almost feel them trying to crane their necks around these corners. It's not something you can do, guys. These are monitors. I nearly thought that shot connected onto Danny, but no. It's still a 1v1. The two full HP players have to battle it out against each other. Util flying in every direction. Onyx dodges the flash, swings out. A little bit of damage done across both sides now. They're chipping into each other. Danny's just trying to buy a little bit of time, trying to extend this as far as possible, but it's Onyx who gets that final kill. The defuse will come through. 4Magic up to 9, Freddy. What is happening?
Anorex saying, huh, what's up? You dropped me? You replaced me? Yeah, what's up? Anorex.
Get some.
Yeah, get some. Anorex, Babs, Jossie, the leftovers from this MIBR super team. And currently, this core of players is putting pedal to the metal towards a third map. 9-1. This is the reverse of Nuke first half. MIBR, they won it out 11-0, 11-1. But since then, it's all been for Magic. Unfortunately, they fumbled it in overtime. And that makes you sit here thinking this could be 2-0. Like, this could have been a 2-0 victory for 4Magic. And they still, though, need to close out Mirage. Let's temper our spirits. Let's not get too excited. And also, same for 4Magic, because this is certainly a situation where they don't want Nerves to get ahead of them. And they don't want someone like Brandina to just lackadaisically walk into Gabby's crosshair, who is getting more proactive and is hitting her shots on the lurk, unlike on Nuke.
The worst part is that if this goes 2-0 MIBR and 4Magic are going to spend the next rest of their life going, we could have won that 2-0.
Yeah. And they also could have beaten Furia 2-0.
Man, it's so rough. But it's all about the ability to close out. And unfortunately, some teams just have that tenacity a little bit more than others.
Don't curse it now, because that was the issue last week. It was closing out, especially Inferno map 1. That was the big issue.
I don't want to hear about curses from you, bro. You cursed them like 4 rounds ago. You just oh, we've spotted a leg. Oh, this could be a second kill now. And Gabby not trying to like overplay her hand. This is really cool, because Brandina got caught in this situation, in this exact spot. Doesn't know who this is, but knowing that it's somebody just kind of aiming down sides. Yes! Oh, the timing. The patience. Gabby's just so good. Oh, she's just so smart. They've already taken the site as well, so the bomb should be planted. Olga's so snappy with it. Onyx just walks straight into her crosshair, and MIBR have finally woken up. Is this going to be a scenario like on the previous map where it takes them a lifetime to finally battle back into the map? Mayhaps. But this is going to need to be the first step of many if they want a chance at taking this in that 2-0 fashion. And with that kill onto Josie, Babs now with so much to do and realistically not going to be allowed to do so. So with that one little kill, she'll back away, hold on to her weapon, and MIBR will finally find their second.
Ooh, needs to be careful, because Babs can get away with just taking some heads. Like, damage favors her massively here. So I need to be careful. She's trying to hunt down Poppins. Low HP, 14 HP. This is bold and okay. That is unfortunate. 4Magic get a bite of Gabby on the lurk. That's back-to-back multi-kills for Gabby. And in round 10, when she was able to push out pallets and get 2 kills, it was unfortunately off the back of her teammates dying in middle and them not being able to react accordingly. This time, she gets a kill and they're able to react. Her teammate are there waiting, ready and waiting for her to strike. I'm enjoying what I'm seeing a lot from Gabby, as she's already got as many kills in this half as she did in the whole of Nuke, question mark. I know she was sitting on less than double digits for a long time, and she was really struggling on that T side. Okay, she's matched it. 10 kills on both maps now currently.
What is a little bit crazy to me is we were talking about MIBR in the first half and how it was all just younger and Danny going absolutely nuclear. For 4Magic, it's Onyx and Babs. They're literally pulling their
keeping the
team.
trend though. That was what they were doing.
Screaming.
On the CT side, if you look at it, it really was just Anorex outside and then like Babs floating.
It's crazy. Maybe it feels that way sometimes. Ah!
Ooh,
Babs, no! Caught unawares. That's not ideal by any measure. Now, Celax is there. Hasn't had the opportunity to find anything. The Molotov is going to force her off of her angle. So that's going to make things a little bit more comfortable for MIBR. Comfortable is relative, however. Bomb being planted now. They can start to set up their post plant. Celex has reposted herself up in the same position, looking to see if there's anybody still kind of angling in towards apartments, but doesn't seem to be the case now. Waiting. Gonna go on a little bit of a mission, try and find some information. Oh dear lord, she's been spotted. She's gonna get swung on, and it's Younger. The counter AWP. Daddy just gets a double for absolutely free, and Olga will finish out the round. A 9-3 half, but still in favor of 4Magic.
Press play. You know I feel the same way. Something crawling under the surface. Snap your fingers, we'll go there. We can find your inner furnace. Keep racing to the mantra. Don't stop, get what you're after. No rush to find an answer. Let it all out. Stay moving as the beat goes. Feel free and let the rain pour. No need to know tomorrow.
Silly season continues to deliver. Pump it into my veins. 4Magic, a 9-3 lead on their opponent's map pick. This could be a conversation for a 2-0, but they were unable to secure the dub once they forced that heroic comeback on Nuke into overtime. But now in regulation, Babs and Anorex, they are making a case to say, hey guys, you remember you dropped us? You remember we got discarded? Press tab.
Press tab. Oh, those are some hard words, Freddie. 9-3. MIBR have a serious battle ahead of them. Also, just an update. At last check-in, which admittedly was about 6 minutes ago, Furia
Horses
was
are winning.
sitting at
Furia
a-
lost. No. Furia lost
No,
Carlzinho. Horse.
Oh, Freddie. Oh, buddy. It was at a 10-2. We have yet to have confirmation of a loss, so perhaps Cruzinho are mounting an epic comeback of full Magic proportions. Maybe. But in the meantime, MIBR now on the CT side and already at a player disadvantage. Get a little bit of a trade back. Keep things a bit more contestable, but bomb is being planted. Poppins will get yet one more, but can't stop that plant from coming through. Danny kind of chilling. Didn't manage to stop it either. Maybe playing a little bit scared here. Oh, and they just baited into Olga's waiting arm. She's only good for the one before the trade. Poppins now spots out the leg, knows that there's someone nearby, so has to play this patiently. Unfortunately, time going to become a little bit of a factor. Josie's been spotted out. Danny gets hers, but Josie is going to be able to run over Poppins at last. Swaps up with the USP. Oh my God, what a shot. And it's going to take a little bit more here, but she's buying out the time. She's making this uncomfortable. She's done it. She's clutched the round. She doesn't even need that last kill. She won't get it either. Danny's just going to run her over, but it doesn't matter. It's a 10th round for 4 Magic.
Oh my God. Please hit the replay button. We got a tech pause to enjoy it. Let's just think in those shots one more time. Oh my God. Josie has had so many big impact rounds on that CT side. A lot of the focus towards Bab and Anorex for good reason, but Josie was very important at getting some of those earlier multi-kills. And this clutch, that's everything, because there's a real world where MIBR, they win the pistol round. And because of that, they're able to start stringing rounds together. But this, well, I guess 1v3 it is in total. 1v3 4K. Oh my God, that second shot was just ridiculous. And now because of that, MIBR backs against the wall. How does it feel to be on the receiving end of, now you have to come back into this map? Olga calls a force buy. Issue is, MIBR are already dropping like flies.
Oh, they have managed to get a trade back, and with the MP9 no less, so maybe stands them in better stead into the next round. Gabby, you can't do that. That's not fair. Gets the kill onto Silak. She's playing absolute power anchor here, tickling away onto Brentina. Gets the follow-up kill as well. The force buy paying dividends. It's all down to Babs 1 versus 4. So many enemies on the horizon. The bomb can't even be planted, and MIBR have made a miracle happen.
Pretty important trade towards apartments. There was a double push, Olga and Poppins. They go through underpass. If Poppins hadn't got that trade, I would have imagined that 4 Magic would have just steamrolled onto that bomb site, and it would have been a 5 versus 3 with apps control. But the fact that Josie dies right here, right there, just basically pinces 4 Magic in. Alongside that, though, just some nice shots and really good rotations. But it is all because Poppins was able to get that trade, so you can really tip your hat to her if you're an MIBR fan, because she's allowed them to secure this 4th, but it ain't smiles just yet. Still, Grimm's, oh, never mind, she smiled. Yep, ruined my point. Thanks, Poppins. I'm just sorry, losing my mind over here. It is still 6 rounds to go. We've seen 4 Magic do it, but I don't know, this map feels different.
Does it? Suppose we'll see. I mean, the fact that MIBR managed to clap back in such a dominant fashion in that previous round. 4 players still alive at the end of the round in a force buy. Spooky. Denying a bomb plant as well. Economic reset goes absolutely nuclear. So very little available for 4 Magic into this next round as well. Tech9s in 1 Galil. And MIBR also managed to recover a whole lot of guns off the floor, so their reinvest into this round is relatively low. I was saying it like we went into the half, and I was like, surely now that MIBR are on the CT side, surely now they, you know, wake up and start to show those signs of life that we've been hoping for. Because we always talk about how South America is a very aggressive region. They like to play that more aggressive style, but over the last couple of seasons, we've been seeing a shift away from that to a more kind of defaulty play style, to a more kind of standard style of Counter-Strike, a more quote-unquote international style. But MIBR have still been really good at playing that aggressive style, and it's because they have players like Olga, like Gabby, that can just go absolutely insane, you know, and they're always backed up by the stability that a player like Younger brings to the table as well. So they've still been able to just play like absolute animals. But with the rest of the season, with the rest of the region starting to play that more standardized play style, they're able to deal with these aggressive plays a lot better. So we need to see a lot more kind of on the fly adaptation from MIBR. And we talked about how Olga is like this, not a new IGL, but she hasn't IGL'd in a hot minute. And now she's in this position when she needs to make these on the fly adaptations. And maybe this is something that is contributing to the struggles.
Did Olga IGL before?
Oh yeah, we asked her about it in the interview, and she was like, "Oh, she did it at, like years ago, before ESL Impact."
Yeah, like before even Fury, right?
Like a long time ago, yeah.
I think it's the same as like Cat IGL'd 6 years ago. It's kind of one of those ones.
Mm-hmm.
But we're back into things. The Force by wars are continuing. 4 Magic, 1 Pistol. MIBR won the conversion. They won their Force by. Now time for the Tech9s to see if they can replicate what the defense were able to do. Anorex leading the charge. 19 kills, but the spam is hitting its mark through the smoke. And there comes the nade. Surprising enough, Anorex doesn't even just die to the shrapnel, but it forces them to speed up, and the reactions are just here for MIBR. They've got the players in the right position. The U-Tool's being dropped accordingly. This should be a done and dusted round, even with that boost into snipers. Like, Younger's aware of it, right? Right?
Right? Smoke cleared. Oh, spotted barrel. Now she is. If she wasn't before, she certainly was at that point. Advantage, MIBR. And just a quick update, Furia did win their series before Freddy can start shouting me down. I'm sorry, friend.
Lies.
I know, butt horse. But unfortunately, it's not the case. They got stuck at the starting gate. The starter pistol made them shy, and they weren't able to actually compete in that race, unfortunately. So that's Furia netting themselves yet one more victory, going up in the standings, and can be feeling very confident going into that final week of Impact. Now they start preparing themselves for MIBR, and if they're watching this game, if they tune in here, they're gonna be going, what? This is what we have to play up against? Maybe it's not gonna be that difficult after all. You know, unless they watch this round, because this round's, you know, it's been a bit of a devastation for 4 Magic. But MIBR now starting to find those signs of life again.
Do you know what's annoying? I've just realized next week is 4 Magic Atrix at the exact same time as MIBR Furia.
I know, we can't watch both of them at the same time.
I don't even have 2 monitors.
Yikes. I need to set up my 3rd monitor so that I can have that game as well, you know.
Ooh.
Do you think they'll let
One
me
up in
into
there.
the HLTV? Like, will they give me the thing so I can just watch it in real time? That'd be great. I
The
don't think
clean
they will.
feed.
I don't think I have that much, like, clout, but it would be really sick.
I mean, you could just watch it on GoTV. Also, I think you acquiring the clean feed is a little bit more problematic than Cloud. We've been through that one before.
I don't want to hear problematic from you, Freddy.
What? Me?
Oh no, Danny. Oh
Glocks.
dearie me.
The Glocks.
I mean, to be fair, she was caught with her back turned. Like, I don't know how much more we were expecting
sure.
to happen there. The Spidey sense needed to go hard. A bit like that, right? That's where the Spidey sense came into fruition. I say that. I think there were a couple of bullets fired beforehand that just didn't connect. MIBR now up to 6. 4 rounds away from evening up the scoreline. AWP in hand. 4 Magic will have a rifle round into this one. But Brandina has yet to get a 3rd kill.
Brandina, a rough 2 weeks against Fury and MIBR. Same with Celax, to be honest. They both kind of being on the lower end of things. Jossie, a very vocal player, mouse and motor in this round, communicating that both B players were getting very aggressive towards short. Younger actually started over on that side of the map, maybe counteract if they were going to go quickly off those two players getting aggressive short. And Gabby, that just isn't allowed. Maybe things are starting to swing in favor for MIBR as we're seeing what we'd anticipate on Mirage. Gabby just swinging mid and getting 2 kills for free and backing away. And alongside that, Jossie on the lurk in apartments has been caught off. She tried to activate after those fights started to brew in mid, but it's exactly what I was mentioning. That's why Younger's there. She's there ready and waiting to say, oh, you think both players are short and fighting? They are, but I'm here.
I don't think 4Magic have too many more opportunities here. I hope to get a few exits, but Gabby being on the hunt. Ooh, that was a close one. Was almost a cosmetic check. It's going to be really important, I think, to take away these final guns. They have the money to hunt this, which is obviously why they've gone and pushed for it, but they want to really just put 4Magic in the most uncomfortable scenario imaginable. Brandina's unaware, but she's just kind of moonwalking into the waiting arms of Danny. She may yet be able to survive. Just a few seconds left. We should be good for the end of this one. So MIBR give themselves yet one more round, and it's likely going to be somewhat of an anti-eco into the next round. They'll have at least the 1 rifle, maybe a couple of upgraded pistols. They've got a teensy smattering of cash to potentially bolster just a little bit. MIBR, I was giving them a lot of flack for their T side, but their CT side so far has been somewhat immaculate.
I'm starting to get a little bit worried, actually. MIBR have closest to a 3-round gap, and the only round the T side 4Magic have got so far is the pistol round. The only round they've got and even looked competitive on is the pistol round. Babs getting aggressive in middle, just swinging, but blindsided. It's a very simple crossfire. It's a lovely spray down for Olga, but it's way too simple. It's way too easy from Poppins and Olga in middle.
Again, kind of the way we expected that one to go, given what they had in the round. Unfortunately, I don't think that this round's going to go much different. They are taking that time out, but MIBR should win this one. That puts them at a 1-round deficit. 4Magic will then be back in the rifles, but if they lose that round, then MIBR even up the scoreline and are poised to run away with not only the half, but the rest of the series. And so I think that whatever was said in that timeout is going to have to start paying off immediately. Now, again, into this round, it's upgraded pistols, but they're adding some of that utility as well. So we're going to go for some crazy Tech 9 shenanigans. I'm kind of hoping that they just go for a straight apps pop. I think that's more than likely going to be where they'll maybe get the best results, and especially now as we start to see the CTs fan out. Again, it's weak side B, strong side A, and A is unfortunately where 4Magic have decided to hang their hat, focus in their attentions.
Jossie's going to be coming very late underpass here, but I don't know if it's going to really matter because it all relies on these opening kills and whether Poppins gets cleared and if Younger's able to get a kill with this AWP, but the flashes, they seem... Ooh, there's only... Okay, it's going to be a double hit, only 2 flashes. Younger being on triple, this is going to be difficult for her when the Tech 9s start coming in.
Josie was trying to do what Poppins was trying to do a few rounds back, but she just straight up dies. To be expected, she's at Tech 9. So now Poppins holding in top. Ah, not quite finishing her meals. Ooh, that gets a little bit scary. Danny dies in the fire and the flames.
Bomb down.
2 players left alive. Stellax has recovered a rifle. The bomb's been planted against all odds. Somehow the Tech 9 has forced Younger off of her position, so she's taken a metric ton of damage. But in the last dying embers of the round, it's Gabby to get the kills.
Ooh.
Defuse should come through quite easily. A little bit of BM, you know, it's all good sportsmanship at the end of the day.
Is it?
Enemies on the
Isn't that
server.
whole point?
It's enemies on the server and it's friends out of the server. You know, you've gotta bolster yourself with that little bit of, you know, get some. You know, it's the Uno reverse card of what we were saying a little bit earlier on. But now is the rifle round for 4 Magic, and now that timeout has to pay off.
They got the bomb down. They have all the bells and whistles. Select on the AWP, is that going to matter? In this AWP diff, Young has been all over her. Even though she has struggled in this map, she's able to at least get one and just kind of simply survive in that previous round. Select goes for that opening pick towards ramp, but can't see them crossing because of the Molotov. It's a very aggressive early mid take for MIBR, but for Magic, they're respecting this. They're allowing this, and they're just going to play after that utility comes in.
No, Anna X. I mean, they kind of lined up for her, and the bullet's just not landing, unfortunately. She barely got any damage done, and she loses out off the back of that. Selax caught with AWP in hand, but Babs battling it back. Eventually will get put down. Josie's there to trade off of her. We find ourselves once more in a 2 versus 2. These rounds continue to be disgustingly close. 4 Magic need to find a way to stabilize. The bomb is still in the T-spawn.
Jossie, you get caught off guard here. That's a wonderful pick from Younger. Now, Brandina, 4 kills, has to 1v2 to get for Magic their first gun round on the T side.
And interestingly, Younger has fallen off. They're just going to regroup here. Oh my god, they think it's an A hit. But the thing is, they're going to find out really quickly. See, having someone to play off of allows you to move just that little bit faster. Brandina being all alone means that she's got no one to help feed her information, no one to hold her hand in case things get scary. So she has to take this baby steps, crawling, inching her way towards the B bomb site. Now, she should be able to at least get a plant because MIBR have really taken their time clearing things out. They wanted to be sure, but they've already started to rotate back in, and they're doing it at speed because they know now they have the space to work with. They've already reached the next area, and in tandem, holding hands, the shot connects. Even though that bomb was planted, it's gonna get defused. MIBR hit 10.
If that Molo was a little less deep and was a little bit quicker, and if she was maybe holding for the Molo to be pushed, that's a round win. And maybe if Anorex had done some extra damage on this spam, that could have softened them up even further than they were, because they weren't really at all. Brandina, it would have to be a big clutch for her. But those big clutches call for big time players, and unfortunately, she does not step up to the plate. This T side is pittering away. MIBR, it hasn't been a clean series. Honestly, far from it. Anything but after that first half of Nuke. But yet, they now close the gap for the first time in a while. It's an even game, an even keel. Before Magic, keeping it simple, trying to head out towards B.
Ooh, keeping things a little bit more even here, but Poppins continuing to be the GOAT. She's been a talking point ever since she joined the ESL Impact League, and that has not changed. It's in the name, folks. She lives up to the hype. Maybe not on land, but certainly online. And Olga in tandem, keeping things very much in MIBR's grasp, up to 11. They've found a lead. They have not had a lead for the entirety of this map, but they finally managed to do it, clawed their way back in and 2 rounds away from putting this series to bed.
I think that could just be it. I think that round's done it. For Magic, don't put enough pressure elsewhere. They go for a B execute. Brandina sure does get a great trade, but due to the lack of pressure and other parts of the map, Poppins doesn't even care about short. Fully focuses on B, and also her first kill of the round is on Babs. I think when Babs dies at the start of the round, that almost just signals round over. And Gabby getting aggressive once more in apartments. This time she gets her kill on Babs and is able to tuck away, and 4 Magic can't do anything about it.
I'm a little bit sad that we haven't had any like crazy eco rounds. We've had some economic reset rounds, but nothing really with the Tech Nines going absolutely mental and getting some unreasonable results, unfortunately. Those are always my favorite to watch. But this seemingly is not going to be one of those rounds either. With having already lost one of their players, they're going to start regrouping up towards apartments. Slowly start to make their way out. Again, it is the weak side, but it's hard to call it the weak side when the two anchors are Olga and Gabby. You know, like, they kind of make up three people just on their own. And so the utility starts to come through, doesn't quite land in the way that they were hoping. The first kill to connect, the pop through the window, but instantly shut down. Gabby's gotten 4 again. Surely no one takes her ace this time. Oh my god, Olga, come on! Gabby's trying so hard, and she's just not allowed to get that ace.
That's so Danny had a 4K on the second round of, the pistol round of Nuke in the first pistol. Olga steals it. Gabby, a 4K here, ace stolen by Olga. Tut tut tut. We don't like that, stealing the aces. But MIBR, it looks like they've completed the comeback. 9-3 half. They lose the second pistol round. And 4Magic in back-to-back rounds, in back-to-back maps, in back-to-back weeks, fail to close out both maps against Furia and now MIBR. This is a real tough pill to swallow, as this is do or die now. They were able to win 8 in a row after a 11-1 deficit going on to the CT side of Nuke. But here, they have to stem the bleeding ASAP, and I'm not sure if MIBR are going to let this one slip, as they have seriously turned up that oven and looking to cook 4Magic.
4Magic have massively slowed themselves down here, looking to try and contact a little bit. About to get a little bit of utility over in towards mid. Maybe fake out a pincer elsewhere. Anna X on the swing gets a shot onto Olga. Has an inkling that she's up there, and with that first kill, that gives them the opener that they need. Now the util's going to start coming through on towards the A side. Come on, guys! You've got to clear Younger. Not even a flash, not a single piece of utility to get her off of position, and she will go nuclear, gets that kill. Josie and Babs, however, to follow up, keeping things very much in their control. 4Magic, despite the mishap, have managed to make this a winnable round. Danny has to come up massive and cannot do it. 4Magic up to 11. Dear God, are we going into another set of overtime, Freddy? Is that the world that we live in today?
Across ESL Impact, on whatever stream you were watching, it's just been overtime, 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 overtime. And right here, 4Magic, they should have closed us out in regulation. We should be in a break right now, and it should be Ancient starting in 5 minutes. But instead, we're now contesting for overtime. It's a scrappy round from 4Magic, but they get the opening kills towards middle, and that ultimately is the deciding factor. So once more into round 24, you can see MIBR, they give so much more respect now and just play so much more reserved, just hunkering down these bomb sites and allowing 4Magic to take mid. So for 4Magic, they get mid control. ASAP, clean, nice. What do they do from it? Can they activate and utilize this control?
I think a large part of the reason why MIBR are doing the hunkering down is that they've bought into 2 AWPs in this round. And it's not something necessarily that could be read into, because they haven't done it. So there's no reason to reasonably expect that they might bring out a second AWP in this round. So 4Magic, they also have to show a little bit of respect here. Yes, they've taken a little bit of mid control, but can't be getting too eager, too overly aggressive just yet. Now with the smokes down, that means that they can bring a few more of their reinforcements up into position. Poppins that's locking down the connector area. Molotov in the way won't deny her sight line, and she does eventually opt to swing. The smoke's in the way. She's not going to be able to see anything. Babs and Anna X cut things open, slicing and dicing their way onto the site. Now Younger, the last bastion here on the site, can't quite connect the shot. It's Selax to get the kill onto Gabby. They've already lost that secondary AWP. And 2 players remain from MIBR in a 2 versus 5. They haven't managed to get a single kill to stem the tide of 4 Magic, to stop the inevitable, to deny the overtime. They're trying desperately to battle this back. A solid shot from Younger, but still so much more to get done. Poppins has found a position on the site, but Younger's been lost. The HE trickles down the HP, but Brandina is there to shut it down. Overtime, number 2 of the day.
Brandina and Celax have 7 and 8 kills each. Anorex, Babs, and even Jossie have either more or equal than to their kills combined. But in the final round of regulation, they step up with a really important 3-piece combined. Brandina as well with a lovely flash that completely blinds Younger and CT, so it doesn't allow for the repeat. And a slow, methodical round for 4 Magic. That pays off. MIBR, from the start of that round, they hunker down. They just try and block mid and play for the bomb sites, play for just the hold as they come up through middle. And then they all fall apart. I'm actually super surprised to see that Poppins doesn't rotate towards A. Gabby was deep in apartments with the AWP, was holding down that line. That normally would signal a team to rotate and gamble stack 4 players towards A, but they were not confident enough to do that. So Poppins was ultimately just rendered completely useless in this round as she rotated into just a lost bomb site. And those players together just get isolated way too easily. It actually feels like, if anything, the nerves in this server got to MIBR, which was something we saw at the end of regulation on Nuke, especially that 1v1 that was lost at the end in the kind of like 2v2, or sorry, the 2v1 that was lost from MIBR. It's just like nerves were palpitating across through the screen. And it's nuts to think that online MIBR are the ones that are nervous against 4 Magic.
I do find quite funny. So you were talking about how like the entire day across the multiple streams has just been overtime after overtime. And I just went to go double check the NA match, and it's FlyQuest versus Nocturnal, which could very easily end up in overtimes as well.
If it ever starts.
Oh, I mean, if it ever starts, you know, there is a world in which we just keep going forever and a day. We might even still make it to map 3 at this rate. Like if 4 Magic can keep up their form, keep kind of pushing through the barriers, we may even yet still end up on Ancient. So strap in, folks. Could be a bit of a longer night. Heart goes out to production. Strongs, guys. Make sure you're keeping hydrated. Make sure you got some snacks, because you might be in it for the long haul. Oh, and it's another tech pause. Oh, dearie me. What a time for a tech pause as well. I mean, there's never really a good time for a tech pause, but you're literally in overtime on what could be MIBR closing out the series. The potential momentum shift off the back of having to now sit and wait to get these next rounds started is rough. You still there, Freddy?
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm just kind of lamenting what's going on. Like, MIBR, they're the ones who should have the momentum going into those final 2 rounds of regulation, but then nerves getting to them and completely changing up their playstyle in the final round of the half. But then I look over at 4 Magic, and it's just such this like really clear reliance on Babs, Anorex, and then Jossie as the 3rd player. But then it's Brandina and Celax to get the majority of kills in the final round of regulation. Gabby, the B anchor, has the most kills in the whole server. What's going on? And I guess a lot of those questions are going to get answered. And this boost... No! Celax had that one perfectly lined up. And Poppins... Thank God. She is quite literally thanking God, because she is a dead woman walking.
And yet, she continues to be a problem. That's the power of Poppins. You never count her out. A bit of a slower one at the moment. But across the board here, here's the thing. MIBR's score lines are a little bit lower than maybe what you might expect, but they're very much consistent. That's what we were talking about at the top of the broadcast, is how they are so consistent. For Magic, it's two players literally fighting tooth and nail to keep them alive, but Olga and Poppins just will not allow it, shutting it down, forcing their way into mid. Between the two of them, all 5 kills go their way. And MIBR will pull up to 13. That consistency, it's a bit of a kick in the teeth.
Yeah, a lot of missed shots from the AWP there for Selax. It's obviously that opening kill on Poppins. Would have denied a double. But even then, in middle, in that 2v3, when it was getting a little bit tumultuous, had to hit a shot in a high-octane situation and misses. A brutal time to be not connecting with the AWP. 8 and 19. She's having a real rough one and has really struggled this series. Needs to try and change things up, but the attention turns to Jossie. Gabby and Poppins pushing apartments. Oh, she doesn't see them, pulls the trigger, and it's the wall bang because Brandina comes in at the nick of time to save her, but both kills go in favor of Jossie, and it's a 2-player advantage for 4 Magic instantaneously in round 26.
My God. What a way for it to open up. Utterly unexpected that she's going to be down towards those stairs. Now, how do MIBR stabilize? Something that they've been good at.
She hit a shot.
Unfortunately... Damn, Freddy! Toxic. But that should be round. As much as Olga and Danny have been phenomenal. Yeah, unfortunate. 13 to 13. We go again. Okay. This merry-go-round shows no signs of slowing down. Blow for blow. Double
By the
OT,
way,
maybe?
four Magic have only found gun round wins on the T side in the last 4 rounds. They've won their 3 gun rounds in the last 4 rounds to push us to overtime, and then now in overtime. But that is an unfortunate round for MIBR where they go for an aggressive play. They have been actually catching out Josie a lot when they were in apartments in regulation, but this time Brandina comes in at the perfect moment and is able to take contact and allow Jossie just to claim 2 scouts. Another opening kill gone awry for Selax. Goes for the same peak, but
get out!
Even though she misses, Younger will not, and a collateral. Sit down.
Honestly, I thought there was a world in which she gets all 3. They lined up so perfectly for her there. Oh, there were only 2 people. Why did I think... Wait, I'm sure there was a 3rd. Am I tripping?
Either way, she definitely got 2.
She did definitely get 2. Maybe I'm just seeing double at this point. Getting a little bit of whiplash from how this map has just been so kind of back and forth. But it's the opener that MIBR needed desperately to keep them going when you consider how rough things looked in that first half. And this is their CT side OT. They can't really afford to be losing too many here because their T side was a little bit lackluster, to say the very least. It's actually a complete flip of what we saw on that first map. Now Younger chipping away at the HPs, and it'll be Olga to get that final kill. They go all the way up to 14. Looking pretty good here in the first half of OT. But again, now they're on the T side. There is literally a world in which 4 Magic just run away with this second half of OT and win the whole damn thing.
Oh, MIBR, that's a pretty convincing round to end off on. All rounds won in that first overtime by both 4 Magics and MIBR were super convincing for the victors. The T side is where MIBR have struggled. They probably do the minimum of getting a double on their defense. And Gabby, flawless so far, Mirage, continues in that theme, doesn't miss a beat. Brandina and Selax, the dastardly duo for maybe the wrong reasons on this map, are at least able to trade. The AWP identified now towards A as a 4 versus 4, and the dust settles in the smog of war.
Unreasonable to get that opener. But unfortunately, can't get too much more. Gets a little bit greedy, it feels like. Trying to fish for a second. Oh my god, Olga, how do you keep doing this? How do you keep doing this?
That's
she gets
not
2
great.
before she's finally put down. Numbers advantage now, firmly in favor of MIBR. They'll get onto the site pretty much uncontested. I have to be aware of Babs pulling up from short, from the ramp rather. Oh my
They're
god.
taking a while.
The bomb's still in Palace. Oh, okay, she's throwing it down, but she can't get the shot through. Oh, the timing on that. There's no way that they lose this round because the wrong person had the bomb and she couldn't throw it down. What a crazy shenanigan that would be. Now Poppins left to try and clutch it out with the bomb in her hand. Oh, dear God. Oh, dear God. Swings out and gets shot down by Anna X. And truly, that round is lost because of the bomb not making its way out of Palace. I'm done.
You know, when you crash out, that's when it's bad. When I crash out, it's like, yeah, it's just another day in the office. But when you crash out, that is... I just had, like, this whole round, it's so scrappy from both sides. You can see that nerves are actually really getting just everyone. Not Babs, though. Not Babs whatsoever. Same with Anorex in the clutch. Ice cold in the veins. Celax, even though she's been struggling, she's still going for these opening kills. And you know what? I really respect that. I respect that she's still going for them. Her and Babs were in a setup towards underpass. Babs disengages. Celax goes, you know what? I'm just going to take one last peek before we leave. Boom. Danny down. She hasn't got a kill for so long. She was 14 and 13.
It's happening. It's happening. We're going to Ancient. For Magic. The runaround of MIBR whenever they're on the CT side. And unfortunately, it's looking like that trend has not changed whatsoever. Numbers advantage for MIBR. Now they start angling over towards the A site, but 3 players have already started to move in and started to create that stifling, that chokehold. MIBR have to play this to absolute perfection, and already reinforcements are starting to come in as well as Anna X starts making her way over. The util starts to come out once more. They will be able to make their way in on towards the site. There is no respect for smokes. What are these smokes? We push straight through. Babs up close and personal. Gets a double. Anna X to double down on it. Olga trying desperately with pistol in hand, but it's not allowed. Look at the excitement. Josie knows what's happened. She knows what they've done. Map point for 4 Magic. Ancient on the horizon.
That's just such a sick round. That's like the previous round. I was saying, you know what? Both sides, honestly, a little bit of rust. Like that was a little bit of nerves right there for Magic. That is a beautiful setup. The player in CT just holds and waits for the timing, waits for the perfect moment. Gets called the flash and sends rocketing through that jungle smoke. Anorex as well able to rotate towards CT because they made the proactive move to boost Celax into apartments to clear out all of that information. 15-14, pressure back on the favorites, and Babs looking to isolate Danny once more, but this time it's not Danny to fall, it's for her to get on the scorecard for the first time in a very long time, and what a time to finally do it.
But it's going to take a lot more. Josie with a triple kill has shut things down. And then she dies at a Molotov. She just kind of stuck the landing there. Hang-arounds a little bit too long.
Bombs round.
On access to 1v2, but she's got so much HP comparatively, and she knows where the bomb is. But does she know where these last 2 players are as the smoke starts to clear? Oh, there was a world in which you get a 2-person spray down. They're going to get in behind her. They're going to get... No, somebody, look at somebody. Oh, my God. Okay, 15-15, not the Ancient just yet. Another overtime as angles are not adequately checked, and MIBR somehow force their way through that round.
That was it. That was it. Anorex was jiggling the left side of triple, but then is so timid about it. Oh my sweet Jesus, Josie. That is absolutely revolting. Standing in the fire and the flames, gets 3 kills, but unfortunately, her and Anorex, as hard as they might try, there's only so many 2v5s they can win out by themselves. And Olga winning out the clutch. to send them into second overtime, leading by example, send Selax into the atmosphere at MIBR. Maybe because they forced us into the second overtime, they're just going to take back command of proceedings.
And this is phenomenal for MIBR, specifically because of that story that we've been weaving throughout the series of that MIBR struggle on the T side. So to win even one T round in overtime sets them up to potentially win out the map. That is how much of a difference maker this is. To just be able to get this one round. If they can even follow it up with a second, then that might just be it. So for 4 Magic, this is where things start to get very scary. This is where they need to really pull themselves towards themselves. It's gotten incredibly close. We've gone all the way into a double overtime. They have pushed MIBR beyond what has been reasonably predicted by even the greatest of our diviners, right? I don't know how the hell they've done this well, but they have. And unfortunately, it's going to get even more difficult from here.
Another day of ESL Impact, another day where South America hasn't ended while North America begins. Things you love to see. MIBR, they're not going down without a fight. They still want to win this out 2-0. And Olga, she is trying so hard. But only good for one. Brandina trades, but Danny, Bloodhound, hunts her down. So it's the advantage, but very short-lived. Selax, unfortunately, all her teammates around her have fallen. So it opens up then the opportunity for Gabby to provide coverage on that lurk. And she activates in a vicious way that she was not on Nuke on the T side, but on Mirage, she has been lights out. 31-22 as the lurk and as the B anchor. I simply don't know what more you can do from those positions.
Oh, Poppins! All right, Babs, 1v2. Top-rated player in South America. Show us what you're made of. Kit in hand. Smoke laying down on the bomb. Spots the first. What are we doing, Gabby? What are we doing? Maybe just baiting her out into the open so that Younger can get the kill. She doesn't know Younger's there. She's going to check it anyway. Gets the first kill. Knows exactly where Gabby is, but Gabby's just playing the time. They play this so perfectly. Oh, Babs. Oh, my sweet summer child. You needed to be a little bit faster. Dies to the bomb as well. MIBR up to 17 and one step closer to closing out the series.
That's hard. She wins the clutch. 3 kills. Babs, 32 kills. Highest on the scoreboard. Highest in the whole of South America. And yet, if MIBR are able to win 2 more rounds out, she can wave goodbye to the opportunity of representing her region in Stockholm. This has not been clean from MIBR, but has it been clean from anyone in the whole of ESL Impact this season? I just assumed that MIBR, they were going to come in today and show us that they are the favorites from South America, but they have done quite the opposite. But you can still commend them for having that tenacity and fighting back and always somehow closing out these maps. A war of attrition, and so far, 4 Magic are losing. But to stem the bleeding, 1 round isn't needed, it's mandatory on this CT side.
We've gone for the mid play again. This has garnered them some results previously, but MIBR have a suspicion. Now the bomb's about to walk into Babs, and Babs wins that bomb. Oh dear Lord, can it have fallen apart so early in the round? Yes, we do have a trade back from Poppins, and Selax in a little bit of danger here, but she gets a kill. She's going to have time to reposition, and now MIBR scrambling to regain control of that bomb. They've only got 30 seconds left. They burnt down the clock so phenomenally that they might not even have the time to recover in this round. They might just have to win by elimination, but it's a 2 versus 4. Are they even going to be given the opportunity to do so? Shots ring out from Poppins, and now they have control of the bomb again, but Selax is still there, and between her and Babs, they shut it down, and they close it out, and they do indeed get that 1 mandatory round.
Okay, it's the start, but unfortunately, one round on the CT side, I'm not sure if it's going to cut it. It's been a incredibly defense-orientated series, let alone map. And even though it is really dominant, and even though Select is starting to activate with the AWP, we need to see when they go for these opening kills with her on the T side that she's able to connect. There were so many opportunities for her, but she kept on missing all of them. So that's 100% one of the win potentials. And for Magic, it looks like they're going to keep things super simple. Throw Util in mid early, and then just pop onto this A bomb site where currently Danny is the lone defender.
I think she's caught wise. Realizing maybe being up close and personal there. A touch dangerous. She'll reposition herself. Wait for reinforcements. She's not alone this time. She'll get that first kill, but she's going to be traded. No, where's her teammate? Oh no.
That's Babs down.
The reinforcements. Yeah. Poppins was unfortunately not able to be there to trade off.
Three
but
defenders.
as you say, with Babs being down, that's going to make things a little bit more difficult. Onyx and Josie now. They've already stepped up so massively throughout this map. And they continue to do so. Keep making this a little bit more scary. Tease rethink their approach. Start
Oh
moving
no, they
their way
missed the
over.
window
Oh,
smoke.
no,
They missed the window smoke
brother.
in round
Not
34.
like this. No, oh my
Younger
god, Youngest
dies.
just missed the shot. Okay, Olga trades back onto Celax, makes it a little bit more contestable.
Gabby's alone
3
on
versus
B.
3 now. They're going to be fighting it out in towards mid. 30 seconds remaining. They're going to have to commit, but Poppins is ready. Gabby now holding down on the site, waiting for them to walk into her crosshairs. Brendina is the one who needs to try and find that early information. 20 seconds remain. They have to commit. They have to make a decision. They can't stall out here. This can't be the way that they lose the round. They're going to start pushing in towards this A side, but Poppins is here. She hasn't moved from her position.
10
The jungle
seconds.
player gets killed. Olga not going to be able to survive. Poppins just has to buy a little bit of time. She's done it. Oh my god, for that to be the way that Magic loses the round is devastating.
Olga running a marathon. A, B, back to A. And oh, Poppins. Her one kill she gets this round is everything. This kill right here. Josie gets spammed through the short smoke and they don't feel like they can commit with only 2 players. And because of that, they have to go back and retreat towards the A bomb site with all the utility fading and with Olga just giving up her life. Even though she doesn't get a kill, she just whittles down the time and allows for those smokes to fade, which allows Gabby to rotate from short. MIBR, they're playing with the heartstrings of everyone watching, but specifically for Magic, as they have come so close, but yet so far. So many opportunities. They could have closed out Nuke, could have closed out Mirage in regulation, in overtime, but in a second overtime, the favorites, they're stepping up to the plate and they're getting proactive. Brendina spots out Danny, gets a dink, is able to survive, but at what cost?
Got some solid mid control going on here. MIBR have left it fairly open, free for the taking. And they do know that the 2 players were in towards main. So we've got that little bit of information, even with the reposition. Oh my god, the timing. Olga manages to make her way back in on towards the site. But Babs has an inkling. We're going to throw that Molotov just to try and flush Olga out. She's... How the hell, bro? She's still good for 1 before the flames lick at her feet. Brendina follows it up,
Younger.
even with low HP. She didn't reposition, but Younger is still here. Younger is ready and waiting. Somebody's... Oh my god, how has she missed that shot?
Why
That's
is
an
Onyx throwing the
unreasonable
bomb?
shot to miss, and Poppins is firing through. She's managed to get the kill onto Anna X, but the bomb has not been planted yet. The reinforcements have already arrived, spraying through the
Can't
box, and
plant it.
Brendina's not allowed to plant. It's not gonna happen. MIBR have shut them out so successfully. Only 1 smoke remaining. And again, it's gonna be that little bit of spam coming in from Connector. The bomb actually does get planted, but in a 1 against the world wins. MIBR in what was a slog of a series. 3 overtimes to make it happen across 2 maps. But they've done it. MIBR will now sit at a 6-0 scoreline in the group. And after all of this, they're still not confirmed for Stockholm. There are still some shenanigans that can be at play. But they are undefeated so far in this season.
The sun has set on what would be